Twitter's chief financial officer, Ned Siegel, reiterated to CNBC this week that yes, Donald Trump is banned from Twitter. No matter what he does in the future, if he decides to run for office again, he is done. In fact, the CFO specifically said, when you're removed from the platform, you're removed from the platform, whether you're a commentator, you're a CFO, or you're a former or current public official. So he's making it clear that no matter what happens in the future, Donald Trump will never be on Twitter again. He can run for president again, and he's not going to have that platform. Which essentially means that any future political endeavor that Donald Trump does try to launch is not going to be as successful as he was in the past. As I've repeatedly said, Twitter was Trump's source of power. And he understood that too, by the way. That is why for 4 years he used that as his primary means of talking to the public. Kellyanne Conway went on TV and said the president uses Twitter as his primary mode of conversation with the public. They knew the power that Twitter feed had. They knew that his ability to reach tens of millions of people in a matter of seconds was unparalleled, and that is where his power came from. That power has effectively been stripped away from him for the rest of his life. He can't rise to the same level he was ever at without that microphone. And here's why. Twitter's user base is far larger than Parler. Twitter's user base is larger than the Fox News audience and the Newsmax audience and the One America audience combined. Because you see, when Trump was on Twitter, he wasn't just talking to his hardcore rabid base. He was talking to every one of us. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't ever tune into Fox or any of those other right-wing channels. Nothing. So it doesn't matter what he says somewhere else. We're not going to be hearing it. Unless, of course, we see it in a news headline, but he doesn't have that power anymore. He could go on TV. He could do an interview on 60 Minutes. He's not going to be able to reach that same audience ever again. His power has, for the moment, been destroyed. So unless Parler decides to, add 100 million new users, this man's political career could be over. It could be over anyway because he might be facing, pretty significant criminal charges either in New York or now in Georgia with that investigation. So who knows? Who knows what the future holds for Donald Trump? But we do know one thing that the future does not hold for Donald Trump, and that is a working Twitter account.